This your boy Daniel Lyndon Evans. As always, you are inside the den, and the next episode starts right now.
What a time, what a time, what a time for a black man to be alive. Living in the struggle while trying to keep our composure. Killing each other while trying to look for that exposure. We all just want to make it, we should do it as a team. Build each other up and they can't even say a thing. Me and all my brothers just stuck together like glue. It's us against the world and you know what we finna do. Woo! Pop a bottle, we in here for celebration. We just wanna be the leaders that's pushing the generation. Take a seat and find your zone for the topic of conversation. Find a way for a positive revelation. Now this really ain't the time to be thinking about yourself, cause we just a bunch of hustlers that's trying to give out some help. We turn the cubs into lions inside of the den. Come and join the brotherhood if you really just wanna win. Hey,
I'll make it do what it do, baby. As always, this is a live, unrehearsed, unscripted show. And with me, as always, is my co-host, Mini-Me, my yes man, coming to you live and direct. And we have a very special guest here today. Once again, you all know him as Antonio Atkinson, but I know him as Soulful Design. And today, he's coming to us live and direct from another hat that he wears. As Soulful Purpose. Now we know this guy as a visual arts guy, we know him as a photographer. Everything he did was Soulful Design. He makes my t-shirts, does the videos and things like that. But we coming to you now, man, in a different light, man. Tell me, man, who is Soulful Purpose, the artist?
Man, Soulful Purpose. The name actually only generated in 2017. I used to go by T-Nice. I think a lot of people use the first initial of their name and then put the nice behind it.
T-Nice.
Yeah, I was T-Nice for a while, and then I was Looney for a while, and but I actually it started all in like I would say 1998. It's like I was like 5, 6 years old, and I banging on the pots and pans like I told y'all that last episode. And then from 8 years old, I started writing, and from writing it turned into poetry. Then from poetry it turned into music. So now I'm coming to you as Soulful Purpose. I'm bringing you my music. I'm bringing you my soulful energy. Soulful Purpose is all about energy, man, and just being deep within yourself. So
Deep within yourself.
Deep within yourself.
Well, man, I mean, you got to have a lot of soul to have the name Soulful. But coming to us, from your different areas with the visual arts photographer, to make the t-shirts and everything, like, how do you separate what's soulful to bring to the table?
Man, it's funny because I don't really have to. Like, I have to tap into all of them in pretty much every situation that I'm in. So I use different bits of the creativity in everything. So it all just starts from like me wanting to be a visual arts guy. Only started from me wanting to shoot music videos for myself.
Mm-hmm.
So, but how I differentiate is I take from each one. Every time I go to different places, if I know that I'm going to shoot a music video for an artist, then I still bring Soulful Purpose, because a lot of times artists ask me for advice. I've been doing music for a long time, so I also give out a lot of advice when it comes to music. So I don't really separate it, brother.
So is there any a time where if you're doing, like you say, a video shoot, that you have to put on multiple hats at the same time?
Yeah, there's been multiple times where I kind of help people out with even just rapping their lyrics and like how to bring that certain energy that just comes from me practicing over 20 odd years, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Wow. So let me ask you a question. So who do you listen to whenever you're not writing? Because I know, we asked, we asked Jada One the same question. And then I don't know if you remember on season 1, we had the young rappers on here.
Right.
And so I asked the same question. So I want to keep this question consistent with all the artists to come on the show. Who do you listen to when you're not writing your own lyrics or when you're not performing? Like, what music inspires you to get to what you're trying to do?
Man, okay, so it's a list, brother. Joyner Lucas, you got Kanye West, you got Wiz Khalifa, you got Lil Wayne, you got Drake. I mean, the list really, my biggest is J. Cole. That's my guy. Like, I've been listening to him since '08, before when he was just on YouTube and nobody really knew who he was before he blew up. So I got a list, brother. It's so J. Cole, Lil Wayne, Drake, Jay-Z. I forgot to mention Jay-Z. And then I listen to a lot of old music like Busta Rhymes, and Eminem, Tupac, Biggie. So I got a list, bro.
Do you find yourself, listening to these different artists, do you find yourself like your style kind of rubbing off? They rubbing off on you? Like, is it kind of like mirroring that, or is it a totally different?
I think what happens is, because I listen to so many different artists and so many different styles, I think as artists, I think a lot of like there's nothing on the face of this earth that hasn't been done before. So therefore, I think that I kind of pull from all of those artists, and then that's what creates because I have a different style. So that's what creates a different style, because I'm not even really thinking about it when I'm doing my own music. I'm just doing my own music. So I could be pulling from Tupac in a song. I could be pulling from Joyner. I could be pulling from Kanye. It's all these different avenues because these people have done it before. So sometimes you do say, oh, man, I want to make a song like Pop, man. I want to make a song like one of my favorite songs by Kanye West is Can't Tell Me Nothing. I always wanted to make a song like that. Yeah, I had a dream like about my way to heaven. When I woke, I spent that on a necklace. Like, this bit right there is just
What's the cost and the mission to go to heaven?
Exactly.
For a necklace, huh?
Yeah.
Wow. So, I mean, listen to other artists and not having them to rub off on your actual style and things like that. It's one of those things that when I listen to certain artists, I think that whenever Jada Woman was on here, when I heard him, I said it sounded like Joyner Lucas, things like that. You can pick out certain artists, some of their influences in certain things that you say and do. Who you think is your biggest influence that you could say that if I had to strip everything down from your music, cadence-wise, message-wise, delivery-wise, who do you pattern yourself after when you come down to break it down for your music?
Man, I'm gonna just have to say me, bro. I can't say one person. Like I can try to strip it down, but I think I kind of live because my music is really like I tried to listen to my music and say, who do I sound like? I don't sound like nobody. I sound like Soul for Purpose.
So you are a completely generic original.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, I've heard people say, oh yeah, you got that Cole flow or that Kendrick flow, and I just don't believe so.
I mean, I think that's pretty confident, to be able to say that, out of all the music in the world that's being produced, all the people that's putting together music, you got these internet sensations, these YouTube sensations, everybody that's in the pockets that you never heard of, out of all these people, to have the confidence to say that I'm confident enough to know that I don't sound like any other person, that I have a original sound flow that nobody has ever heard before. Is it safe to say that?
It's safe to say that, bro. It's safe to say that, bro.
Well, that's awesome. I mean, because confidence is really, what the name of the game is when you're dealing with, having, a hit song or whatever you want to do. If you don't believe it,
ain't nobody else gonna believe it.
And if you don't feel it,
ain't nobody else feel it.
You know what I mean?
I can't make you feel something I don't feel myself.
And I know that when artists write certain songs, they write them in a certain zone.
Yeah.
How they feel at that moment.
Exactly.
And you can go in and out of the feeling, you know what I'm saying? But when you hear this song, you say, oh, I was in this.
Yeah, I was feeling
locked in.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So let me ask you this. So the last time you was here, you did mention that you're working on some projects and everything. Upcoming projects, what are you working on currently? What are you working on in the future? And when can we expect to hear some of these new projects that you're working on?
All right, so I've got one song right now that I'm working on. Well, I ain't gonna say one song because I actually got multiple songs that I'm working on, but I got one of them dropping actually on Tuesday. I'm actually gonna drop it tonight on this show. So it's called Dear God.
Okay.
So it's kind of, that I'm pulling from, like, I see a lot of people that's coming at me from a bunch of different ways. But I'm like Jesus on the cross. I'm like, dear God, please forgive them, for they know not what they do.
Okay.
So that's the angle I'm coming from. It's like, they don't know. They don't know who I am. I know who I am. But, if you don't know, hey man, I ain't gonna blame you. But I got that coming up. I'm actually working on an album. I don't know what's the name of the album will be, but it's definitely I'm definitely digging from a lot of pain, hurt, struggle, and confidence.
So what are some of the pain? What are some of the hurt and struggle that actually inspired this project?
So the pain behind it is me finally getting out of that you are your dad mentality. Right?
We talked about your father on the last
Exactly.
part one of the show.
And I think that is like the biggest pain for me because I got 2 sons. So I'm really trying to get myself out of that because I got things that I got to teach my boys. And I can't be sitting here teaching them if I'm still stuck and locked in on my past. So that's the biggest pain I'm trying to get out of.
So that's the biggest pain.
Right.
What's the biggest struggle?
The biggest struggle, man, is just wanting to be a place that I'm not. The biggest struggle is knowing that I'm great and I'm just not there yet. Like I'm pushing 30 and I wanted to be in a certain place at 30 and I'm not there yet. So that's the struggle of in day to day. It's like, getting out of my comfort zone, getting out of being comfortable with being lazy. And I'm not a lazy person, I'm very motivated, but everybody has their moments to where you can get lazy. And it's all about when you do. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, if I choose to be lazy 5 days out of the week, those 2 days that I'm motivated don't matter because I was lazy 5 days. So that's where the struggle comes in. It's just getting out of my comfort zone.
Okay. And you have to really be careful when you talk about, like wanting to be further along than what you are right now.
Yeah.
You have to understand that you can't force something before it's time.
Yeah.
You can't force greatness before it's time. And I'm gonna give you an example. So there's a story of an old man and his son, and they're actually at a tree, and they're watching this caterpillar. He's actually inside of a cocoon, and he's getting ready to break out to become his next phase of his life, which is, caterpillar equals cocoon, and cocoon equals the butterfly, right? And so as they're watching the cocoon, him and his grandson, and they start to see action happening. The cocoon starts to break open, and you start to see the butterfly break through to start to his process of getting out of the cocoon. Now understand that everything happens in a process time. God designed this caterpillar to do this thing and designed it to break out of this cocoon for a certain purpose in his life to get to the next phase. So while he's going through this, the young boy is watching this butterfly attempt to break out of the cocoon, and he appears to be struggling. So the young boy goes up and tries to reach up and tries to help pull the butterfly out of the cocoon. And his grandfather, checks him to say, "No, son, don't do that." And he said, "Why?" He having a hard time. He's struggling. So he explained to him and said, this is part of his process to becoming a butterfly. He has to push himself out of the cocoon, because while he's pushing through the cocoon, he's strengthening his wings that's necessary for him to be able to fly, because understand that he went in as a caterpillar. he's coming out as a butterfly. He's never been a butterfly before.
Yeah.
So he has wings that he's never used before.
Exactly.
So the process of him getting out of cocoon causes for him to appear to be struggling. So you don't want to rush him through the process, because you pull him out of that cocoon, then his wings never develop, and then he's either going to die because he's not able to fly. So when you're actually going from season to season, or when you graduating from one level to the next, we talked about last week that your enemies promote you to the next level.
Right.
Well, understand that there is a process that has to take place. So when you get there, you're not struggling, or you're not going to die because you're not prepared. But the process to get out of that cocoon is strengthening your wings so you can fly in the next level. So everything has to take time, has to take place. You will develop when it's your season to develop to who you are, because as Soulful Design, you're learning the back ends of Soulful purpose as the artist from the front, from being a front runner.
Yeah.
So you have to see behind the scenes, and you have to see as a front runner of what the artists go through from behind. So you're able actually to be in the video, shoot the video, and produce the song all at the same time.
Yeah.
So when I ask, how do you decide what soulful to bring to the table, the young kids say, stay ready, so you ain't gotta
Get ready.
If you're already ready, you ain't got to worry about me. You
Gotta
just
worry about
switch into, get into your season at any given time. So, so let's talk about this song, Dear God. You're talking to God from a standpoint of dealing with your haters as a point of view from being crucified on the cross. What are some of the things that you're asking God to forgive them for?
Just the people put you down. People constantly they'll chastise you. So it's like they don't know better, because for a while, when you're in that process of becoming, like when 50 Cent was becoming 50 Cent, I'm sure it was like people was like, nah, bro, you ain't gonna make it. But then when he became who he was, it's like, oh dang, you know what I'm saying? It's a different. So it's just the constant, the hating. The hating can go so many ways, bro. It can go from somebody literally trying to stop you physically, and then it can go from people trying to stop you mentally.
So how do you respond?
Like, you should already know me. Like, I ain't going for that.
How do Soulful Design, Soulful Purpose, Antonio, how do you respond to those people who...
I give them something to watch. I give them something to look at. That's how I respond. See, when you respond in that manner, it's like a nonchalant response. It's like, okay, I'm not even mad at you for real, because you don't even know, but I'm going to just give you something. Because if you're going to watch me, I'm going to just give you something to look at. That's how you respond.
So just give them something to watch.
Just give them something to watch.
And I always said, like I said last week, for the ones who tuned in last week, haters don't hate on the homeless people. They're going to hate on what they see that is popular.
Exactly.
They're going to hate on what they see that's successful. They're not going to hate on you if you're not successful. So if you are being hated on, understand that it takes you to have something hate worthy.
Yeah, exactly.
Create a new word right here on the show, a new word, y'all. Hate worthy. If you're not hate worthy, then you're not worthy.
That's what.
Meaning that if you don't have anything that's worth being copied, you ain't got anything that's worth being stolen, you ain't got anything that's worth being hated on, then
what are you doing?
You're not doing anything.
Right. So that's like Cat Williams said. He said, don't get mad about your haters. He said, because if you got 5 haters, you need to figure out how to get to 10 by the end of the year.
Feel free to hate on me. Feel free to hate on me.
And if y'all haters ain't got nobody to hate on, feel free to hate on me.
You got to understand, you got to be in tune with your team player. You got to be on point with your number 1 star player.
Exactly.
Feel free to hate on me. That's my impression for today.
Yeah.
Cat Williams. That was funny. So I want to hear the song, man. So listen to you all. This is going to be a season first on Inside the Den where we actually get to premiere a song live on the show. So right now we have Soulful Purpose, the artist Soulful Purpose is here today to debut his #1 hit song. It's already #1 hit song in my book, Dear God. And we're going to listen to this song right now. So you all hear it first on my show, Inside the Den. Give it up for none other than Soulful Purpose, Dear God.
So before we play the song, I'm gonna just say this is Soulful Purpose. It's Dear God, featuring King Ashbell, produced by Critter Tunes, and you heard it here first, folks. Right here on Inside the Den.
Dear God. Yeah. Mic check. Okay. Dear God. Dear God. Yeah.
Ain't got no clock or
I
nothing.
mean, bro, right on the money.
Hey man, this
They said that God
you know
never
it's
gives you
like-
more than you can handle. He put a lot of
I
weight on
remember
me
watching
to
the
see what I
This
can
Is
manage.
It, Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
If I could get distractions, I'll be moving
Mike had
backwards.
his back
Don't
turned
put
to
on
the
with
actual
questions. I
counter
don't look
screen.
for answers.
They was doing a countdown for the
And they ain't
song.
asking
He
for
was doing
shit. I'm demanding, I'm expanding. I can't take my gifts for granted.
way to make
Seen
me
through
feel
my whole
whatever.
shit like I am
And
Casper.
he was doing
I just got
moves,
tired of
he
being
was like-
stagnant. Yeah, I got talent, but that
He
ain't
knew
shit
exactly
without
when
me.
to drop the beat. And he said, "You have to let it sizzle." It's got to sizzle. Well, Mike, how you gonna know? I can feel it.
Yeah.
It's right here. I can feel it.
Yeah.
And so when you do the song,
Okay,
you
relaxing.
already know
Put on
he's
your
like,
seatbelts.
oh,
Make sure they
man,
fasten.
man.
Cut my locks. Shit got me feeling like I'm Samson. I'm eating, no time for fasting. You beating me, not even by your fraction. If this shit fire, I'm the dragon. No time for bragging. I'm here to take my spot, no time for asking. Speaking of blasphemy, I gotta blast them. Nobody gave me a pass, so I just gotta pass them. And if you scared, go to church, or you could call the pastor.
Right now, we got.
Here I am.
Right now, I got.
Remember me, PK the people saying, Pass asking where Ashbell been. Just bear in mind, I've been hibernating. The personnel growing. Yeah. Me and the staff got a plan like Moses. So the only reason we ain't got it, cause we don't want it. So if you got it, you
Yeah,
better
that's just
hold it.
like. Oh yeah, that's that.
My
that's
repetition builds my reputation.
Dear God.
I left that life behind, gained revelation. That everything life is what I made it. Dear God, forgive me for my complaining. Dear God, forgive them for what they do. And forgive me too. Oh, in the mirror I
So
see
right now, I
you.
have like
The
2 or
devil
3
is a
tracks.
lie and I need truth. I need
drop. You know, I got one that's just gonna be called Soulful Purpose. That's another one I'm just dropping ball.
I see you.
I got some stuff in the works, man. And then also on top of that, I got me and Asheville. We're gonna make a project together. And then I got another.
I see you.
My homeboy. We're gonna actually make a project together. So
I see you.
as far as music, Soulful Purposes, 100% going crazy. And then I got Soulful Designs. Cause I'm like, I just gotta keep that train rolling, brother.
Yeah.
30 seconds. But yeah, man. So Soulful Purpose, man. A lot of projects working on, a lot of songs that I got coming out. Just I got a lot of old music that some of them I might revise, and then again I'm like, well, I don't know if I want to bring that back. You know.
All right. So that was an awesome song, brother. I'm definitely feeling the lyrics, man. I'm definitely enjoying, the vibe, and I'm seeing you in a whole different light that I never seen you before. I didn't know you had bars like that, man.
Man, yeah.
And then to invite, the homie on that Ashbell, man. Like, how did y'all get that collaboration going? Because it's your song, right?
Okay, so Dear God is hilarious because I think that was a beat. He was actually going to delete the beat because I was in the studio. He was just making a beat, and he was going to delete the beat. And I said, "Yo, what you doing, bruh? Hold on." And then because I was writing as he was making the beat, and so I said, "No, don't delete that beat, bro. I like that beat." And then I asked them, and that's how we work, man. It's like if I don't want to come up with a last verse, or if I feel like he just might add another flavor to it, I'm like, bro, you want to hop on this? And he's like, yeah, no, not a problem. So that's just kind of how that works.
So describe to me, like, when we was talking about a little bit, like, before the show started, how do you come up with the names of the songs on your track? Like, do those names have a significance in the songs?
So the majority of the time, man, I literally just write. And then after I'm done with the song, then I'll come up with a name. Or I might do a hook on accident. Like a lot of my music is freestyle. Because I'm really good with coming up with music off the top of my head. So I'll come up with the name of the song and the hook and be like, oh, that's it. Like, but I'll never really sit down and say, okay, this song is going to be called Dear God. I don't sit down and say that this is going to be the name of the song. I just make the song first. And then it's like, okay. When I did that Dear God part, I was like, oh, that's it right there. That's it. So, yeah.
Wow. And that's kind of interesting because, you know, a lot of rappers, they play games with themselves and they challenge themselves to do certain things. And
Yeah.
I know that, you know, Jonah Lucas, he does a lot of different wordplay. And so one of the challenges he had was to
Rap that lyrics front was in backwards.
Was that backwards?
Yeah, that was nice.
Are you able to do that?
No, I ain't. As far off the top of my head, no, I ain't that skilled yet. As far as like, I probably could, but I ain't. But I don't really do that kind of. But I probably could though if I really like dialed in. I know I could. Another thing about Jonah Lucas too that I like, he actually makes his video first, and then he writes the song off of the concept of the video. Like that's cold
How do you do that?
blooded, man. Like he'll come up with a concept of a video, and then he'll write the song based on the concept. Like I don't know if you heard that song Ross Capian.
Saw that?
Right? So he wrote the video first, and then he made the song about the video. That's cold blooded, man. That's cold blooded, man.
A lot of you know, artists, they have their different ways how they do things.
Yeah.
And in terms of lyrics and writing it forward and backward, one of my favorite comedians, Dave Chappelle,
Oh,
he has publicly admitted that he writes some of the punchlines first,
Yeah.
and then write the joke.
And then write the joke.
When you have gotten to a level of confidence and a level of success where you can do it backwards
Yeah.
or in a reverse order and still come out successful, you know, then, you know, that's kind of like, you know, when you get to the place where you just feel like, you know, you can do this in your sleep.
Yeah.
And as an artist, I know that you probably have a lot of music in your mind. You probably go to sleep thinking about songs and tracks and music, but you probably do the same thing with the images that you put together. So
Yeah.
it's like, does every song or every lyrics that you write automatically come with the visual already in your mind when you write the song?
Most of the time, yeah. Or sometimes they'll come. Sometimes they don't come when I write the song. Sometimes they come when the song is finished. Like it's crazy because it's like a projector in my head.
Yeah.
And so I can see it. Even sometimes while I'm rapping it, I'm like, oh man, I know what I'm gonna do with that video. Oh, I know what I'm gonna do with that. Like I just know. But then I'll hear the song and I'm like, oh yeah, this part, yeah, I know I'm gonna be in this is gonna be my scene for this. So yeah.
Well, you know, I kind of had the same idea we working on. For you all who doesn't know what's going on inside the den, we are currently in the negotiating stage and the processing of actually getting together to record 2 videos for the theme song, Welcome to the Pride. We're going to do, Jay the One is going to do a version of the song on his platform, coming from his perspective of the song. If you all don't know Jay the One, but that was on the show. Was it a week ago? No, 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago.
It was 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago, and he was responsible for writing the theme song, Welcome to the Pride. And then we're going to do a Lions Pride version of the same song, and my friend Soulful Design here is going to be the one that's going to be shooting the Lions Pride version. So as I'm listening to the song, you know, when I first heard the song,
Yeah.
I'm already in my mind coming up with ideas of what I feel the
Yeah.
video should look like.
Right,
And so I shared some of those ideas with you. And for you all who don't know, the last week episode, his children was here with us in the studio on set, and those are the ones you heard in the background. So we heard the young cubs inside the den in the background. And how that story happened was, you know, we get ready to do the show. He said, "Hey, can we do it a different time because I got my kids." Look, man, bring your kids because
Bring 'em.
this is what part of being inside the den is all about. Bring your kids to work with you so they can see how you maneuver, so they can actually see daddy, you know, in work in work mode, and so they can see, you know, what your process is. But I said I wanted to be on the show, so you hear the background. You have to be able to still be able to be laser focused through all of the commotion that might be going on in your life. And as a father, we don't get a chance to say time out.
No.
You know, time out. I ain't ready yet. Let me do this.
Yeah.
So sometimes you have to just go with the flow.
Yeah.
And even, you know, some of the women that's been raising their kids by themselves, you know, I think that parent patience is different from any other kind of patience. So you can have a mother in the house reading a book. She can have kids jumping off the ceiling fan, running through the house playing Batman and Robin and everything, and it's like she won't lose focus because she's in that book and she can focus on everything. So when I was on the show last week and I'm like, I hear it. That's like kind of like that patience of a father of knowing that, you know, you still got to be able to dial in on
Still
that.
gotta be able to be laser focused.
You know what I mean? So having those young cubs on the show was an inspiration because once I seen the final product, you know, it was awesome to see them on the outro video.
Yeah.
How you had it, but you all will be seeing them on the video from now on. They're going to be on that video, and I'm thanking him for coming today and premiering the song right here live on the show. Premiering the song. For the first time ever, man, have a new artist on here to actually drop a song, man. So I think that's awesome, man. But being able to just give back to, you know, the younger generation, man, having them to see you at work and pass on this actual torch, I think they're gonna be great in life if they keep, you know, following behind their dad, man. All right.
Yeah, man.
So we're gonna do a mental health check, man. 1 to 10, man. You know, 1 being the absolute lowest, 10 being, you know, you good to go mentality wise, man. Where are you on the scale from 1 to 10? Where are you mental health wise, man?
Okay, so I would say I'm probably about on a day to day, I'm probably a 7. And then on my good days, I'm definitely a solid 10. And then on my bad days, I say I'm probably a 5. But on a day-to-day basis, I'm a solid 7.
So right now you will be at.
Shoot, right now, man, I'm probably a 9.5, 10 right now, brother. Today is a good day, more or less, you know. But on an average day,
On the days where you're 5, what's going on those days?
so when I'm 5, when I'm 5, man, it might be a feeling of not wanting to get up, you know, just laying around. Nah, bro, gotta get up. You know, cause I'll turn those 5s into a 7 just by going fishing, just by getting out the house. Sometimes.
Where you go fishing at, man?
Oh man, anywhere I can find some water. I throw my ponds, I throw my poles in the trunk, and I got my nice tackle box. I go down in any little tackle shop, go grab me some minnows, and then I'll find some water somewhere, bro. As long as there ain't no private pond, no private lake, I'm gonna try this one out for about 30 minutes. I don't catch nothing. All right, that's cool. I pack it up. I go find me some more water.
So are you currently suffering with any mental health issues?
I would say yes and no, because I think that because I would say I got so many avenues to keep me afloat. Mm-hmm. Because even when I start to even kind of struggle with mental health, it's like I got my boys, you know, I gotta stay strong for them. And then I got my music, and then I have my videos, and it's like, so it's hard for me to really have mental health because I keep myself. But I have my, you know, everybody have their problems here and there. But
So is fishing your great escape?
yeah, fishing is like one of my greatest things.
So 2 things you never leave the house with, 1 being,
My camera,
and the other one being.
my fishing pole.
You all got to really understand where that question is coming from, because as a entrepreneur, as a someone who is actually working to perfect their craft, when I first met Soulful Design, you know, the artist as, you know, the photographer, the videography. That's the first thing I told when I met them. Don't never leave the house without your tools, and that being your camera, because you never know when a breaking news story might happen.
It might have to be TMZ.
You never know when you have to catch. You might have to be the only one that's able to capture this moment, and not having a camera, and your photographer will be equivalent to going to the hospital with a emergency and the doctor not having his stethoscope on him.
Right.
Or him not having an active X-ray machine available, or not having something.
A bed for you to lay on.
Got to have your tools in order to be considered,
Exactly.
you know what I'm saying, a professional in what you do. And then, you know, the second part of that is being able to know what your, you know, what some of your, you know, your stress relievers are. And if you know that, you know, if you looking for some water to go fishing and that's going to be your piece, you know, have that available, because you never know when you got to pull that thing out and just say, let me go and just woosah, because, you know, it's very important to know, how to get you through those moments, and what buttons not to push, and how to deviate from when you feel yourself, you know, going over the edge. We have to know how to, what that looks like and how that works.
Right.
So, what is some of your advice to other people that might be dealing with mental health, that you can give them some advice and how to really, like, you know, overcome that?
So my advice would be find something that brings you absolute peace. Like absolute peace. Like whether you're doing it with somebody else or you got to do it by yourself. If it brings you absolute peace, then that's what you go. That's why I go fishing, because I can go out there and I can be one with nature. I can be out there with the water, just the sounds of the water. Man, I ain't caught a fish in about 2 weeks, bro, and I done been several times. They don't stop me from going, because it ain't about catching the fish. It's about going out there and casting my pole and just putting that pole in the water. And I get a bite here and there, and I might lose a fish, but it's like, it's not frustrating, because I'm out there. I'm out here with nature. I'm out here enjoying my time. You ain't got to worry about nothing. My phone is on do not disturb. So find something. Don't let anybody disrupt it. So you find something that brings you absolute peace, and you don't let the soul disrupt it.
So what are some of the thoughts that go through your mind when you're out there on the water and you're dealing with the fish and baiting your hook and things like that? When you say you at absolute peace, what does the thought of peace look like?
Man, it's just being able to be quiet and being able to be silent and not having thoughts and not even having to think about your thoughts, because a lot of times we go through over I can't remember what's the exact number, but it's like 1,000. It's like over a certain amount of 1,000 thoughts in one day that you're not going to remember tomorrow. So it's like it's just being able to calm your mind and just being able to say, okay, this is like me time. Like I'm all right. So it's really kind of like I'm good. Like even though I go through struggles, I'm good. You can go out there and just and be at peace, bro, and not have to worry about anything. Just being at peace.
So this next question is just, you know, there's no right or wrong answer. You've been editing this show for the last, 15 plus weeks, and you had the opportunity to really hear this song every week.
Right.
There's a line in the song that says, the opening song, what a time for a black man to be alive, living in the struggle, we're trying to keep our composure. What does that mean to you? Living in the struggle while trying to keep your composure? Because when I first heard that line, it made me think about the Black Lives Matter.
Yeah.
Right. Made me think about a black man getting stopped by the police, not knowing what the outcome is going to be, remembering his training 10 and 2,
Right.
Don't take your hand off the steering wheel, don't make no sudden moves and all that kind of stuff. So when you hit the phrase or the line, living in the struggle while trying to keep your composure, as a black, what does that mean to you?
What that means to me is as a black man in this world, we can't show weakness, right? So what it means is holding your head high, even though you done walked in 5 rooms and then got slapped, and it's like you still holding your head high. I mean, you going through it. I mean, you got this going on. You got your bills. The bills are smacking you on one end, and then you got life just smacking you on another end. Then you might just got pulled over. Then you got this person trying to hold you back. So at the end of the day, it's like we still gotta stand tall, especially when we got other black people that's looking up to us. So we gotta stand tall, bro. It's it's a struggle. It's a day-to-day struggle being a black man in America, bro. It's tough, bro.
It is.
Because we got stuff coming from everywhere.
Every angles, and knowing that you have two sons that's going to be one day they're going to be fathers,
Right.
and they're going to be responsible for a family, knowing that your actions is going to affect their actions eventually when they see what would my daddy do,
Right.
how would my daddy handle this. Well, daddy used to always, cuss people out and all that. What was the outcome of how daddy handled the situation? Let's do better than what our parents.
And you know what else is crazy, man? I just got pulled over. 2 weeks ago, I was in Wilson. I was with my cousin. We got pulled over, man. We got pulled over. We didn't get pulled over by city. We got pulled over by the feds. Right? And when they pull up, I mean, they already walking up, hands on their guns. Bro, I'm terrified, bro. I'm sitting in the car and I'm like, they seen.
How long ago was this?
This was 2 weeks ago.
Really?
Yeah, I was in Wilson, man, and they like, that's why I ain't been trying to make too many trips to Wilson after that. I'm like, man, they pull up on us, man, because they thought they had something. They sitting here thinking, I'm sitting in the car smoking in the car. They see us smoking in the car, so they thinking, in their mind, oh man, we got us one. They probably thinking we got pounds in them. So they get out the car, man, they search my car from head to toe. I mean, they searched everything. They tore my car to pieces, bro. Opened up my trunk, everything. And and 2 officers sitting out there still like this the entire time. And I'm over there like, man, I'm over there just trying to make sure I keep my hands above water. I'm like, I'm trying to make sure I'm good, bro. I ain't trying to make too many movements. Hey, you got your ID, sir. When they pulled us over, I was already like this, bro. When they pulled us over, bro, I was already like this. I'm like, they pulled us over, bro. I'm like this. I'm terrified, bro. I'm not even reaching in my pocket.
Man, I can imagine just, when this kind of situation happened, how you can have your whole life flash before your eyes.
Yeah, man.
I was telling a story a few weeks ago how I was stopped by the police. The last time I was stopped, I think it was like right around New Year's. I was going like 60 miles and like a 40 mile zone and
Trying to get to the back,
trying to go pay that bill, but I had already put the car in park, rolled the window down, had my license up, handed him my license when he got up and said, let me go pay this bill. And so it could have ended, on the wrong side. Just like your situation could have ended on the wrong side. What do you think was the difference maker in how you reacted to the police to actually get you to where you can actually, you want to go to jail, you want to go home? Jail, all right.
It was just like, man, look, I ain't got no time for this extra. I got kids at the house. I know that I can't, so I was just calm, bro. Look, you can check the car. I'm not trying to make my cousin was like, oh, which I gotta check the car. Hey man, be quiet, bro. Ain't nothing in there. Be quiet, bro. Y'all go ahead. Because I don't, y'all already like this. Because they keep the guns with the feds, they keep their guns right here. So y'all already got y'all, because the holster's up here. They got the guns already, you already got your hands on your gun anyway, the holster's open. So at any given moment, bro, you can. So I'm just like, nah, bro, y'all go ahead. And it is what it is, bro.
Wow.
Yeah. I just cooperated, man,
And you can just, and when, for the ones who don't really know what a person goes through when they get approached by the police, in that moment, you don't know whether they have a good day or a bad day. You don't know what is the right or wrong thing to say or do. Your only mind is, I need to get home to my family. I need to get back to my kids. I need to get back. So whether I appear to be a punk or whatever,
it don't matter.
At that moment, your first goal is survival.
Your life is on the line.
What I have to say and do to go home.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that is the element that may be missing whenever, certain people deal with the police, that you know, like your cousin get ready to start running up, hey man, shut up, we don't need the extra talk. This extra talk is what provokes, you know,
Exactly.
the people to actually do something, and then it puts you on the wrong side of things, and it can go downhill quick.
Right.
So you have to understand that my mission is survival first.
Yeah, you have to be safe and sorry.
We have to get home to our families above all things. So when you go out this door and to come back home at the end of the day is a blessing.
Yeah.
So many people didn't make it, man. So how was your music able to help you deal with your mental health?
Man, it's just like, it's my therapy, bro. Like, I don't know how many people have ever heard of music therapy, but like, my music is my therapy. Like, so there are times where I go through things, and if I can't talk to nobody about it, guess who I can talk to? Me. I can talk to me, cause me, I understand me the most.
Mm-hmm.
So when I'm doing my music, it's songs that I've made that I haven't put out, because that was just for me. That was just to get it out, and that was just for my therapy. That was just to make sure that I'm good mentally, because I still got, at the end of the day, I gotta be good mentally, because I got 2 young men that I'm raising. So I have to be good mentally at all times, because if I ain't good, ain't nobody good.
Yeah, I mean, and that's real. I mean, I know a lot of people say, and this is not taking anything from any woman in the world, any wife, but when they say happy wife, happy life,
It was happy everybody.
yeah, I have to beg to differ that, you know, you can have a happy wife and still be happy, but that man needs to be 100%, you know, good, healthy, mental health wise, because, you know, if he ain't able to go,
Yeah,
you know, everybody else's job is going to be that much tougher.
yeah.
You know what I mean? What are some of your hidden talents that people might not know? Some of the things that you enjoy outside of rapping and outside of taking pictures and outside of doing videos? Some of the things that you can really like, really just get lost in.
Okay, well, one thing I love to do is I love to draw. That started early. I used to draw Looney Tunes characters all the time. Daffy Duck has been my guy like forever, bro. Black and orange is my favorite color, so Daffy Duck, that's my dude, bro. And then Daffy Duck, he don't take no junk anyway. And then I like to watch cartoons every now and again, but I would say that, and then I'm a cook, bro. Like sometimes I feel like I should have went to culinary arts school.
Really?
Yes, man. Yeah, man.
So you can cook.
Yeah.
So is it safe to say that you might have soulful cuisines coming anytime soon in the future?
It's a possibility, bro. It's
To have something soulful cuisine, soul food,
Yeah.
soulful foods.
yeah.
You got to have some soul to be able to pull that out like Big Mama on soul food.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah, so hey, it's possible, man. We might be. It might be a soul cuisine's coming out soon, brother.
Wow.
Yeah.
What's your favorite dish? What's your go-to dish?
Shoot. Like lately it's been I've been doing a breakfast dish. It's been steak and eggs lately, steak, eggs, and potatoes.
Mm-hmm.
So that was my breakfast this morning, and I cook a nice little ribeye. You know, throw that on the skillet, and cook my eggs, scramble them up, throw some cheese in them, and then after I do that, man, I cut up my steak into thin slices. Throw them on the side. I have my potatoes going in my skillet. Then I throw them on my plate, bro. And that's like bon appetit. So that, man, chicken pasta, chicken Alfredo. I love shrimp, bro. So I'll do a garlic shrimp scampi kind of thing. So I don't really got a favorite dish, but I would say if I'm doing lunch, if I'm doing dinner, it's gonna probably be steak and shrimp, some mashed potatoes.
So you're a heavy steak eater.
I like steak, bro.
Steak and shrimp,
Steak.
steak and eggs,
Yeah,
steak
man.
and steak and steak and steak.
Yeah, man.
Wow.
Seafood is my favorite, but I love steak too. Man.
I am a seafood connoisseur.
Yes,
But
man.
I'm on the left side of the seafood, not the right side. The right side is the scallops.
Yeah.
The squid.
Yeah, I ain't with all that.
You know, octopus and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
That's the right side.
Yeah, that is-
I'm on the left side with the fish, shrimp,
Yeah, you give me some
oysters,
crab
mussels,
legs.
crab legs. I'm not on the right. I'm on the left side of the seafood. So you come to me with all this other stuff. Hey,
Yeah, no, I'm good. My dad used to eat octopus, man. I'm like, I don't see how you do it, bro. It tastes like chicken.
Look, man, I was watching I was watching some TikTok videos, man, and it was this guy, old guy. The funniest thing I've heard in 2022. He was at this restaurant with, might have been his son or his daughter or whatever.
Yeah.
I can't remember the details, but I remember the guy, right? So they came to him and asked him if he wanted any calamari. And he was like, what is calamari? They was like, oh, it's octopus. And this old man said, I like puss, but not octopus. That was the funniest thing that I heard. All right, so we're at the portion of the show now where we're going to actually take some questions from the audience. We have, we stream on more than one platform. We are on Facebook, Inside the Den, and then we go live Inside the Den on Facebook. But then we go live on Twitch as well. Twitch is more for a gaming type platform where a lot of people do their game streaming. But it's also good for certain podcasts as well. I've been streaming on Twitch since last season, and so sometimes we get questions and everything from those as well. But from the YouTube comments and questions to the Twitch comments and questions and to the Instagram comments and questions, we've been able to pull a few questions from each platform. And today, just like last week, we was going to ask them the questions. So we're going to be asking questions that people have been watching this show right now as we've been rocking. I got a notification with some questions coming through. We got people working on it on behind the scenes. People that you can't see right now, they're actually giving us questions that we got from Twitch. So these questions are they're designed for soulful design as as one person. And then some of these questions are designed for a soulful purpose as the artist, because you do more than one thing. We're going to ask you these questions coming from the different perspective of what you do. So these are just questions that people chimed in, and I encourage you all to ask your questions and chime in so that your questions can be asked on the show, and you'll be featured on the show with the questions. So this is the time of the show we're going to actually start doing the questions. So this first question is for Soulful Design. The last time you was on the show, you talked a little bit about this project you was working on, this show called Peace. So since the last time, it's been over a month, what are some of the updates concerning the show Peace?
Okay, so for a little while, I didn't know about my main character. He's back on board. So I got my main character. Right now I'm actually still in the process. So the biggest update is I'm finishing up the second episode. And so I want to have 5 episodes done before I even get ready to pitch. And then I got to work on my synopsis. So I would say by the end of I'm still pushing that agenda. By the end of 2022, I'm going to be working on the trailers. I'm going to be working on even having at least 3 episodes down and being able to push it to whoever I need to push it to. And I know I said I want to push it to Netflix, but I'm just going to push it to wherever I need to push it to. That's how.
So what are your top 3 platforms you're looking to pitch to?
Well,
Netflix being one, who's the second, who's the third?
All right, so Netflix is being one. I know that YouTube has been getting really popular with series. And then I'm thinking like Stars or Hulu. So either Netflix, Stars, Hulu, and then YouTube.
Okay, that's awesome. This next question is for Soulful Purpose. What is your inspiration for as your artwork?
My kids are my biggest inspiration, but life is I would say my second inspiration. Just day to day, what goes on. I try to pull from, all of these, life situations, black on black crimes, white on black crimes. I try to pull from a lot of different places as far as what's going on in the world. Now, as far as war stuff, politics stuff, yeah, I stay out of that because I ain't no politician. All of the the war, Russia, Ukraine, I stay out of that, all of that. I stay out of the presidency. I stay out of all of that because that's not my lane. But I really pull from real life stuff that's going on. That's
Okay.
like my inspiration, life, and my kids.
TCAT underscore Tribonis, I think that TCAT underscore Tribonis wants to ask, how would you describe yourself in one word and why? TCAT underscore.
Diverse. I would say diverse because that's me. I wear every hat. I wear so many different hats. I'm an artist. I'm an artist in more than one way. I'm an artist when it comes to music. I'm an artist when it comes to actual art, and I'm an artist when it comes to visual. Graphic design artist as well. So I wear so many hats. I would say that diverse, brother.
Okay. Good answer. That's a good question.
Yeah, good question.
One word. I mean, I don't think I can describe myself in one word.
Yeah, man, it's tough, but diverse. If I had one word, diverse would be it.
This question comes from Skinny Jean Girl. Skinny Jean Girl wants to know, what is your biggest expectations for your two sons?
To be better than me. But I know that my oldest son, I think he's gonna be like my musician. He's gonna be my music guy, cause like I catch him all the time. He's got the 2 pencils, he's got the 2 straws, he's got the 2 whatever in chopsticks.
Ain't that where you started?
That's where I started. So he's got the chopsticks, and I mean, if he's in this room, he's doing it. So that's gonna be my musician, and I think my youngest son, he's gonna be more of my creative because he loves that camera. Like anytime that camera is on around him, or even a tripod. Like last week when they were here in the show, and he couldn't stop messing with the tripod. So yeah, one of my sons is gonna be my visual guy, and then and that is gonna make them a dream team. Because if Tristan is my artist, and Knowledge is my visual guy, they ain't gonna never have to outsource. They gonna be working with each other.
Well, it's always good to have your teammate being your brother, and vice versa. I remember coming up, in Mississippi, being the oldest, I didn't really know how to. I didn't know how to be not be an older brother. Like my brother used to follow me around. They used to really get on my nerves, having my brother follow me around and copy everything. I'm like, dude, what in the world? Go your own way, man. Like, do your own thing. And so it was so annoying earlier in life having him to follow me around, until I got matured and realized that he was following me around because
He looked up to me.
He looked up to me. He admired me, and he to him, I was like his second father. Things that he didn't tell my dad, he came to me about.
You were the man, bro.
You know what I'm saying? And anything that he needed some answers for, if he couldn't get it from my father, he would come to me. And so having that respect for him now, me and him are thick as thieves. We are best friends.
Yeah.
But I had to learn how
Had to learn how to be the older brother.
Had to learn how, man, because as an older sibling, you get the blame for a lot of things because you're supposed to be able to set the tone. Mm-hmm. So make mom and daddy happier by not having to do all the beating and everything. So you can't control your siblings, then they got to come see me. Then it's a problem. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
it's a lot of weight.
Yeah. So not really knowing, man, but a lot of time I wanted to quit.
Yeah.
Until I seen who was watching me.
Yeah.
A lot of time I wanted to quit until I seen how many people I impacted.
Yeah.
And so I think that when you at your lowest point, or when you at down and out, and you want to quit, those boys should be
I seen
able to make you, not quit.
Yeah, I seen a post the other day on Facebook, and it said, I threw in the towel. He said, God threw it back in and said, wipe your face, you almost there. He said, here you go. Go ahead and wipe your sweat off. You almost there, bro.
Wow.
Don't quit yet.
Throw the towel. Don't throw it in the towel, man.
Don't throw in the towel. You can't. You got to, if you drop it, it's tough. Let me get back to it.
So last question, and this is for Antonio as a person. What would you tell your younger self if you had to go back in time and take the 28-year-old Antonio and sit him down next to the 18-year-old Antonio? What would you say to him? What would be your message? What would be your warning? What would be some of your, just inspiration to him? Like if you had opportunity, this is your camera right here.
Yeah.
It's your camera.
Yep. So,
What are you going to say to 18-year-old?
So, to 18-year-old Antonio, I would say keep your eye on the prize. Put your blinders on. Put your blinders on. Put your. Because the thing about it is, a lot of times we get so caught in watching the next videographer and the next photographer and the next man and the next woman and the next all these people that are successful. We lose sight. And I did that a lot. I lost sight. I seen people doing the same thing that I'm doing, but they're further than I am. But I didn't know how long it took them to get there. So don't lose sight, brother. I would have said I would say don't lose sight. Don't watch anybody else. You just do you. The biggest mirror, the biggest glass in the car is the windshield. And that's because you got to be able to look straight ahead. So just look straight ahead, bro, and don't look at anybody else. Biggest warning is you need to learn how to deal with that procrastination. I deal with procrastination. So procrastination, looking ahead, and that would be it, bro. Staying focused. That's what I would tell myself if I had an opportunity to have that conversation. Don't wait till it's too late, bro. Which is never too late, but just go ahead and get it done. Do it right now. Don't wait till tomorrow. Do it today. That's what I would say.
Awesome message from old school to young school,
Yep.
old and new. Going back in time and talking to that person, he actually still exists because he is inside of you, but
Yeah.
he is more so inside of your boys. So
Yeah.
you got to talk to that person
Do that.
2 more times
Yep.
to make sure that they're able to navigate through the things in their life because, although the times may be different, the scenarios are still the same.
Right.
Both things change and more they stay the same. So final thoughts for the day, and this is my camera here. Don't be afraid to move at the speed of you. Everybody is get so caught up on trying to live under somebody else's expectations. The problem with living up to somebody else's standards is you only live up to a fraction of your own expectations of yourself. So trying to live up to somebody else's expectations will make your life miserable. You have to be willing to go at the speed of you and not get sidetracked by what you see somebody else is doing, because not knowing where they're going, staying in your lane, being in their lane, you might not be equipped to handle the traffic that they got going on in their life, in their lane. You might not be equipped to go at their speed. Somebody running at full speed, you might not be able to have the stamina for that. So don't be afraid to ride at your speed and do things the way that you need to be doing. Don't get caught up in a timeline. I should be further on in my life by now. Understand that God has you right where he wants you. He knows where you are, and he knows what season you're in. Understand that you got to recognize what season you're in order to be successful. Are you in the reaping season, or are you in the sowing season? Knowing what season you are is important, but don't be afraid to accept that you're learning and that you're advancing at your speed, at your time, because trying to go into a season too soon could cause you to be delayed, causing you wanting to be into another area without understanding where you are now. You have to advance and get to that level when it's time for you to get there. Just like the caterpillar, when he goes into his cocoon, he has to come out of that cocoon. But the struggle it takes him to get out is necessary for his success as a butterfly. So going from a caterpillar to the butterfly, you always have to understand there is a process to get from A to B. When you have young kids and young sons at home, they're gonna look into the mirror and see you, and they're looking at a 20-year difference between you and them, that they're looking into the future when they see you, and you're looking into the past when you see them. And what might be a blessing to them at age 18 or 19, if they got that too soon, it'll be a burden. So the son is looking in the mirror at his father, and he wants to shave his beard like his father. The razor is going to be a blessing to him at the right time. Giving him a razor too young, it would hurt him. It will cut him up, and it will cause him a lot of grief. So understand that you only get to the level when it's your time to get to where you're going. And so keep the faith, keep pushing. Don't worry about the speed you're going, because as long as you're putting one foot in front of the other, you will eventually reach your destination. Standing still, you're not going anywhere. You might be moving slow, but as long as you keep putting one foot in front of the other, you will eventually reach your destination. This is the words of your boy, Daniel Lyndon Evans. It has been a pleasure with being with you all today. I pray that you all have a great weekend, and we will see you all soon, live inside the den. Check your schedule. We're going to be posting this thing on YouTube on Tuesday night, and well, this is going to be tonight, Tuesday night, but we're going to be actually looking forward to seeing you all next week. So, it's your boy Daniel Lyndon Evans signing out. Peace and blessings. We'll see you soon. Have a blessed day.
Dear God. Yeah. Mic check. Okay. Dear God. Dear God. Yeah.
They say that God never gives you more than you can handle. He put a lot of weight on me to see what I can manage. Learning if I don't dare distractions, I'll be moving backwards. Don't pull up on me with them questions, I only look for answers. Okay, I'm back, and they ain't asking for shit. I'm demanding, I'm expanding, I can't take my gifts for granted. Seen through my own shit like I am Casper. I just got tired of being stagnant. Yeah, I got talent, but that ain't shit without enhancement.
Dear God. Dear God. Please forgive them. Please forgive them. For they know not what they do.
Okay, relaxing. Put on your seatbelts, make sure they fasten. Cut my locks, shit got me feeling like I'm Samson. I'm eating, no time for fasting. You beating me, not even by your fraction. If this shit fire, I'm the dragon. No time for bragging. I'm here to take my spot, no time for asking. Speaking of blasphemy, I gotta blast them. Nobody gave me a pass, so I just gotta pass them. And if you scared, go to church, or you could call the pastor.
And here I am. Remember me, PK the people's champ. Past asking where Ashbel been. Just bear in mind, I've been hibernating. The personnel growing, yeah. Me and the staff got a plan like Moses. So the only reason we ain't got it, cause we don't want it. So if you got it, you better hold it. My repetition builds my reputation. I left that life behind, gained revelation. That everything life is what I made it. Dear God, forgive me for my complaining. Dear God, forgive them for what they do. And forgive me too. Oh, in the mirror I see you. The devil is a lie and I need truth. I need truth.
Say I need truth. Look in the mirror, I see you.